I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about meditation and mindfulness. There is a lot of misinformation, confusion, and poor practice surrounding this. And it's something that's a key aspect of mental health, something with as many clients as I can, I share with and try to establish with them a dedicated practice because it has such overarching implications for how we relate to all experiences. Much of the work that we need to do as individuals in life, it surrounds our approach to life. It isn't seeking the experiences that we want or that we think will change us, but it is that we change the way that we are relating to the experiences that we have, no matter what those experiences are. So universally. So this is where mindfulness and meditation come in. They train specific things, specific skills that inherently human beings are really poor at, so that we might approach life constructively. Those three skills, whether we're talking about meditation itself, which is a formal practice. So meditation is the formal practice of mindfulness. So we're trying to attain a state of mindfulness through the practice of meditation. The three skills that we're trying to hone are present-mindedness, acceptance, and right view, which is two things. It's focusing on the right thing in the right way. What I mean by this is we need to cultivate a quality of being able to focus the mind singly onto an object. If we can't focus on one thing successfully without becoming distracted, without our gaze, our will, our intention diverging, you have no capacity to be able to know anything fully. So the reason meditation traditions, actual true meditation traditions, focus on concentrative meditation is because they facilitate, have specific engagements practices so that we might be able to focus the mind successfully. So focusing the mind so that it's not distracted, and then looking with a loving, curious interest. So this is not an emotional state. This is not emotionally manipulating ourselves so that we're happily looking at something. It is fostering genuine curiosity, a genuine sense of wonderment, a genuine sense of connection with the thing upon which you're gazing or focusing. So these three skills we cultivate not because you have them already. You aren't going to be able to sit down and have excellent present-mindedness. You don't even really know what present-mindedness is when you begin. There's a fleeting idea of what acceptance is when you first begin. There's a fleeting idea of what loving, curious interest in is. We practice these skills through meditation so that we might understand and have a deepening understanding of them. So the whole point is to explore and be able to become more present, accepting, loving and curious, and focused. Now, these three things work synergistically. If I am not loving and curious, am I going to stay present? If I am not accepting, am I going to be able to stay present? If I am not capable of being present, can I truly be accepting? You see, these three things work together. They harmonize, and when they are harmonized, they create a quality of mind. That quality of mind mirrors the quality of awareness itself. So we are training the mind so that it doesn't get in the way anymore of awareness peering out of our eyes, being embodied in our nature, so that we might approach life intelligently and functionally. So meditation and mindfulness, one way of thinking about this is they are the minimal skills that you need in order to approach life rationally. If you aren't present to life, how can you be rational? If you don't accept what is, how can you be rational? If you do not look at the right thing in the right way, how can you ever understand it? How can you ever engage with it correctly? How can you ever truly utilize your own presence to find harmony and balance in the life that you're living? So these things can converge and support each other, and they create a state of awareness that we call mindful. When most people approach meditation, they think that they're meditating. We say colloquially, I'm going to sit and meditate, or I have a meditation practice. You have a mindfulness practice. You are cultivating the skills so that you might be more mindful. Meditation is a practice, but perhaps more directly, more truthfully spoken, meditation is when there is a convergence, a skill present with those three qualities. So when we are in a state of samadhi, which is single-pointed awareness, that is meditation. Everything else is practice so that we might get to a state of clarity, of stillness of mind, but purposefulness of mind. It is true that the mind needs to become still, but it's still in a functional way where it is embodying those qualities, rather than having obtrusive thoughts, random thoughts, the mind just being on the hamster wheel. Instead, the mind is focused. Instead, the mind is looking with a quality of awareness, right? A quality of mind. Instead, the mind is practicing being surrendered and released. Instead of venturing here and there, past and present and future, the mind is simply staying present. It becomes like a good dog that you're walking. It stays by your side rather than chasing after squirrels. So these qualities, when they come together, that's when we can say that we're actually meditating. This is rare. I have worked with people, spoken with people who teach meditation, have for many years, and they've never entered into a state of samadhi. We have to have absolute diligence and understanding in why we're practicing what we're practicing in order to have a chance. You aren't going to likely slip into that state without intentionality, consciousness, diligent practice. And this is the purpose of this video, is to begin to open up the conversation around the true nature of meditation, its true purpose, and the specifics of practice. So I will continue here with this discussion, but probably make another video where we actually go through the practice itself. What I'll do is I'll reference the practice here so that we can get some of the finer points down. So why do we meditate? What exactly are we doing, right? So we understand there are the three skills that we're trying to cultivate. Why are we sitting? Why might we sit on the ground? Why might you hold your body in this kind of weird posture? Why do you fold your legs the way that you do? Why do you focus outside your body, right? Why do you typically focus on the tip of the nose? Do you control your breathing? All these things we have to have clear understanding of. Otherwise, you're mindlessly doing them. Otherwise, you can't foster the skills. You can't cultivate the things that you need to. So one of the reasons that we sit is that it naturally works with our body. It works because when we lie down, our awareness dwindles, our mind goes to sleep. This isn't going to facilitate mindfulness. This isn't going to help you facilitate the skills that you need to develop. When you're standing, your mind is alert, your body is alert, it's engaged, it's ready to act physically. That isn't going to help us still the mind. That isn't going to help us focus on one thing at a time. The body's activation, the mind's hyperacuity is going to interfere with our cultivating the skill that we need to develop. It's sort of like if you were to learn a sport, if you were to learn it on 2 times speed, it's going to be chaotic. Part of the reason that we're sitting is that the body is in a halfway point. It's aroused, it's alert, you're not asleep. The mind is aware, present, but it isn't alert or vigilant or in a state of hyper-arousal that's going to be difficult to subdue or to, it's not going to give you enough time, right, to allow it to settle, to release. So one of the reasons that we sit is that it facilitates the correct state of mind, halfway between alert and asleep, so that we might better learn how to be present, learn how to be accepting, and learn how to focus our mind. The other process is, and this is sort of a hidden secret within meditation, certain branches of meditational practice emphasize these components, these realities. Your body, when it is not wasting energy, it's conserving energy. It's storing your life force and your vitality. And when we sit, when there is a stable base, when the body is released and relaxed, that energy can move down from the crown of the head, down inside the body, sit in a place that in Japanese meditation is called your hara. In Chinese meditation, it's often referred to as your dantian. In a variety of, in Indian meditations, they're referred to as your chakras. The energy settles into the most natural of places. Where do you think it settles? When you take something in, where does it settle? It settles in the gut. Specifically, it settles in the dantian, the hara, the abdominal chakra. So this is 2 fingers below the belly button and just in front of the spine. There is a point where our vitality naturally settles, and by sitting and releasing, that energy can go down. Otherwise, it's trapped in your chest, it's trapped in your head, it facilitates anxiety, it facilitates physical movement, neuroticism. So when we say that someone is grounded, when we say that someone is rooted, what we mean is their presence, their vitality is in this spot, 2 fingers below, 2 to 3 fingers below the belly button and just in front of the spine. When we talk about moving from intuition, when we talk about trusting our gut, what we mean is that our presence is there. Our presence is there. It's not caught up in choosing through neurotic thinking or through future-minded, anticipatory sort of regulation. We are centered, physically, metaphysically, and this centeredness allows us to move through life with maximum flexibility. In a field like Tai Chi, the hips are crucial, right? Having your hips released, it's the central point of movement. Within us, that spot is where the first cell of your body subdivides to create all of you. So it is the central point where you enter into this world. And it is the point that we first need to settle our energy better back into so that we might be stable. So, quite a few ideas, quite a few concepts, quite a few things to discuss and apply. I'm going to stop this video here, and I'll create a second part where we can continue the discussion beyond just why we sit into some of the other aspects of practice. Thank you.